Coming up in today's video, we're going to be talking about some massive plans for WWE in 2026, some retirement tours, the location of Backlash. Also, we got to talk about John Cena Saturday night's main event, and it's all coming up right here on the Ango Show. And if you guys want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring that bell. This way you never miss a video on the channel. And I want to kick things off with WWE Saturday night's main event. There has been tons and tons of confusion regarding John Cena and where his match would take place on the card. Now, I feel like everybody would probably assume it's common sense that John Cena would main event. I'm going to explain more on that in just a moment. But there had been tons of confusion internally within WWE. Apparently, John Cena was requesting to go on first with Gunther. Meltzer then comes out and says, hey, as of midweek, the decision had not been finalized, though recent broadcast cues suggested the match would indeed close the show. Now, John Cena has expressed confusion on this. He says, I don't know how the rumor started. I think there's some folks with credibility, like to kick a hornet's nest every once in a while and to get people chattering. You're not sure that'll keep my attention for a few hot clicks. The event obviously is being treated like a premium live event. And let's just be realistic here. If your John Cena is trying to highlight the NXT talent, if he's trying to highlight the future of the business, why in the world would John Cena go on first? There's going to be a lot of people who tune into this and they're not WWE fans because they're John Cena fans. They want to see John Cena's last match. And I know people personally who fell out of love with professional wrestling who are watching this with the intention of watching John Cena's last match. So it doesn't make any logical sense for John Cena and Gunther to open up the show and then everybody just stop watching. If you want to retain viewers, this is like YouTube 101, by the way. But if you want to retain viewers, you're going to save the main event for the end because that's what the main event is. That's the main attraction. So I don't know where the confusion comes from either. I could have sworn I thought John Cena did an interview where he talked about wanting to open up the show. But no, he is going to main event the show with Gunther. That is the right call. That is the right decision. Quite frankly, if you're the WWE, you would be absolutely foolish to have John Cena open the show. Let the attention be on all these young up-and-comers. It's going to be a great, great event. WWE's treating it like a PLE. I'm expecting big things from Saturday night's main event. I'm super excited. Can't wait. And that brings us to our next topic. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE is reportedly planning multiple retirement tours in the year of 2026. Some massive plans here. Brock Lesnar is apparently on the list of talent. We got to talk about this because according to reports from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it couldn't be confirmed the exact dates, but WWE is apparently planning the retirement tour for Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, and potentially Chris Jericho if he signs with the company. Now, Dave Meltzer couldn't confirm the date of when Brock Lesnar would retire, but he says he has heard the talks of 2026 being the target year, and he's also heard the idea of SummerSlam 2026 being the event. Now, of course, we know AJ Styles is retiring next year. Who knows how WWE does that? We don't have any idea as far as how AJ Styles will retire. But AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar retiring in 2026 would be quite interesting. Throw Chris Jericho into the mix, that makes it even more interesting. There are rumors that WWE is apparently signing Chris Jericho and offering a retirement tour. And a retirement run being offered to Chris Jericho makes a lot of sense. Chris Jericho retiring with the WWE, moving on to a role backstage with the WWE, having the podcast Talk is Jericho under the Fanatics Network, it just makes too much sense. I think the big question mark here is Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar, he's always been a part-time guy for like the last several years. And of course, Brock Lesnar is one of those guys where WWE loves him. So who's going to retire all these guys? I think the answer is right in front of us. Gunther. Gunther retired Goldberg, retiring John Cena. Imagine Brock Lesnar's retirement match is Gunther. Keep in mind, like a year or two ago, the rumor was Gunther versus Lesnar for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. A lot of wrestling fans were going crazy for that idea. So Gunther retiring Jericho, retiring AJ, retiring Brock, retiring John Cena, retiring Goldberg. I mean, that literally cements him as the biggest star in WWE. And he's one of the most protected stars in WWE currently. WWE has done a phenomenal job with Gunther's career, especially under the booking of Triple H. We can debate this all day, but he is very, very much protected. Clearly, they're building something there. These retirement plans are very, very massive. And I think they'll probably all happen at Saturday night's main event. And that brings us to our final topic, ladies and gentlemen. WWE has an international PLE finally happening. And I have been covering this for years. At least in the last 2 to 3 years, this has been something that's been rumored to happen. Nick Khan has publicly spoken on it. WWE executives have spoken on it, and it sounds like it's officially happening. Backlash Italy. Now, we don't know if WWE will in fact call the event Backlash Italy, but reports are coming out that WWE does have plans to do a PLE in 2026 in Italy in May, and the reported plan is more than likely going to be Backlash. Now, that makes sense because this will be the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania, which, as you guys know, on the calendar year for WWE, it typically is a Backlash pay-per-view. And WWE very well could bring this to the table as a Backlash pay-per-view. I wouldn't mind a different name, but I have been a massive fan of Backlash being an international PLE. I really have. I've really enjoyed that. I've been very happy about that. I look forward to that. I'm very curious to see how WWE will do this. But these international crowds are better. I think they are way better. WWE will do great with ticket sales. I'm pretty positive about that. This report came from WrestleVotes, by the way. So just keep that in mind. WrestleVotes was the first one who reported it as part of Fightful Select. Yeah, this is huge, man. This is exciting. This is what I want to see. This is what WWE needs. This is what professional wrestling needs. More international PLEs. More international PLEs are needed. I would like to see it. I genuinely believe WWE will be making the right choice here. And hopefully it goes well and they do it again. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.